Another tragedy in Nigeria, and yet again, Western media are completely silent about it. In Plateau State, 15 Christians were targeted and slain by Fulani herdsmen who are Muslim. And amongst the 15, there was a 1-year-old baby and a 13-year-old. It was a Christian settlement that was targeted, several homes were set on fire, and this happened a stone's throw away from a military checkpoint. So how was this able to happen? And this happened on December the 22nd, right before Christmas. Why are the Western media silent about it again when these attacks are reoccurring? And why aren't we as a country intervening to stop these Christian people being targeted?
Hello and what's up, guys? In this video we are diving into a heated debate shaking up Nigeria right now. Northern leaders are pushing a Sharia law bill in the House of Representatives, aiming to make it part of Nigeria's constitution. But one Nigerian man isn't having it, and he is not holding back at all. This bill has already passed its first reading and is now heading to the second stage. But here is the thing. This man is calling out Northern leaders for what he sees as double standards. He points out how they rejected President Bola Tinubu's tax reform bills, which could have helped the whole country. Instead, they spread false stories, stirred up chaos in the north, and even threatened anarchy. Remember when Tinubu went to France for talks to benefit Nigeria? Northern activists like Garus Gololo were out there making videos insulting the president and claiming he wanted to bring a French military base to their land. But now, those same Northern leaders are rushing to pass Sharia law into the constitution, a move that is raising eyebrows across the country. The man questions their logic, asking, is Nigeria an Islamic country? Will you accept it if Igbo leaders push for traditional Amadioha worship, or Yoruba leaders brought up Ogun or Isheshe worship to be included in the constitution? He reminds them that Nigeria is a secular country with diverse ethnic groups and religions, and everyone has the right to worship freely. His word hits hard. If you want Sharia law, keep it in the north. Don't force it on the rest of us. Nigeria is not your personal inheritance. And he's warning, if they keep pushing this, there might be consequences. Guys, I will let you watch this video for yourself so you can see exactly what I am talking about. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Take a look and remember to share your thought after watching.
The House resumed for plenary last week. It debated the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to review the description of Islamic law in the Constitution and for related matters. It was sponsored by Representative Aliyu Boppa Misal. The Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie-Kalu, presided over the session. In leading the debate, the lawmaker stated that the 1999 Constitution as amended only focused on the personal Islamic law and did not envisage the dynamism of other components such as the introduction of the Islamic international and commercial laws, and therefore the need for the amendment.
What I'm requiring is the removal of section, the removal of personal in section 24 of the Constitution, section 262, section 277, and section 288, so that other relevant laws like the public, the commercial law, Islamic commercial law, the Islamic company law, the Islamic international law can have a place in the Constitution.
Nigeria has never limited.
There was a robust debate on the bill.
My colleague, Honorable Mr. is calling, I think, is in the right direction to give a backup for the commercials and other laws that already they are practicing.
The word personal there was put for a purpose. So if you remove it, that's the implication. It will have great consequences. So we can look at the details of what you're trying to do, what you're trying to achieve, and advise at the committee level. With respect to the references made to Taj Bank and Jais Bank, their operations have not been in any way hindered. There are regulations dealing with those matters concerning banks, CBN Act, and all the rest of them. So those are matters that the banks can deal with.
We have to be very, very cautious of whatever we do to alter the Nigerian constitution in a manner that will further widen the divides that we have as a country. And in any case, Mr. Speaker, like my previous colleague said, the matters which my colleague seek to address by this proposal is already covered by our existing laws.
The bill is calling for description of Islamic law. In other words, the bill is seeking the House to define, because of the existing situations now.
As we are talking now, people are hearing us, people are seeing us, thinking that we want to promote one religion over the other. I therefore pray that we step this down for the time being. It doesn't matter how sensitive these issues are, we must be able to debate them. This is what our people sent us here to do.
For the peace, unity of this country. This is similar to what we did yesterday, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, for that same singular purpose of the unity of this country, the peace and stability of all of us, I second this motion, since it has gotten to this point, that this bill be stepped down for this moment.
Hausa people, what is really wrong with you people? What is really wrong with you people? You people are not the only one that runs this country. Just yesterday, the House of Rep rejected the Sharia law that the Northerners introduced to govern the entire nation, Nigeria. Does it even make sense to you? A country that has 4 major tribes. Not only do they have 4 major tribes, they speak different languages. They practice different religion. They have different cultures. And people want to introduce Sharia law, an Islamic law. Imagine the Igbos coming to impose Ahmadiyya law, or the Christian community coming to impose Christian law on the whole of Nigeria, regardless of where the religion you belong to. It doesn't make sense. You people are not the only one that runs this country. I say, if they do something more than they use on our brain, there are things you see. How do you even... God, does it even make sense? Introducing a Sharia law in a country that practices different religion, that speak different dialect, that don't even understand themselves. We are not even done with the government itself being one. Sharia law I want to introduce.
I have no problem with Sharia because it will apply to those who subscribe to the religion. As far as it doesn't apply generally to everybody, the only fear is that by extension, other things by extreme or fundamentalists may now start creeping in. For instance, in the north, we have heard about Isba, because after introducing the courts, there's no way by extension they will not also want to introduce their policing system. And you know what Isba is doing in the north. So you see people going their own way. You say you don't like their dread, you go and shave it. You know, the mishandling of people, or how else do you put it, the arbitrary treatment of people under the name or guise of a law. And you know our people. And when you now introduce or approve or endorse such laws, so I don't have a problem if as a Muslim you prefer that the Sharia law applies in your case. I don't have a problem. It's choice. People, after all, people are APC and PDP. People choose their own chains and bondages. I'm not saying it's bondage, but I'm saying it's choice. Okay. But then my issue with it is that if you look at the north, how has Sharia progressed or helped or benefited the north? This is me just thinking liberally, generally. What are the gains of the Sharia in the north for us to say we desire it in the southwest, for instance? That's number one question. Number two is, how come we have seen the application of extreme punishment for low or small offenders with this Sharia? They become amputees. Okay, but you see those who are stealing billions and they get rankadede, they now they call it leniency. They now use fatwa. If in most cases people who have stolen billions and rendered a lot of people are martyrs, the fatwa applies usually that they are allowed to go with a pat on the wrist. But those who steal gari, cassava, duduewa are turned amputees. I do not think, therefore, that the rule, if they say that that law is from God, I do not think that the laws of God should be put in the hands of man to implement, because it is also prone to sentiment, corruption, and biases. If God punishes people for their offenses, why should the law of God be put in the hands of man to implement again? Then for those who are pushing for its implementation in the Southwest, come out clean, because I understand that there are so many people who want to compete with those emirs and people who are marrying minors in the north. I'm not saying entirely, I'm not being specific, I've not mentioned name, but I'm saying those who are pushing for it should come out clean. You also want those minors that you like here in Southwest, but it is not admit, so you want Sharia so that you can just you can become endorsed for you like it, you want, just say it. Anything that has to do with obeying law of God, the implementation should not be put in the hands of man. Is why I love where Jesus said, let he that is without sin be the first to cast their stone. Law is not mainly for punishment alone. I don't know why we always look at law as just punishment. Where is love? That's why they say love is the opposite of law. You can correct somebody, you can let them know, you can bring them out of the situation or circumstance that caused them to commit that sin or offense, and put them in a more palatable situation where you intrinsically discourage that stealing or thieving behavior. You understand? So if you take somebody away from an unpalatable situation, you give them a better social welfare, they may just naturally by themselves deviate from the crime. Just deviate from the crime because there's no motivation for it again. And I feel also that most of the people like this Sharia are the influential ones, because it helps them, it puts in their hand the power to determine fate, or to met out fate of the lower offenders. They are the bigger offenders, so their own sin are bigger, still billions, impoverished people, and it now puts in your hand the power to rule over the small offenders. That is what I see all these things as. You want control, that you want to be able to be the one to determine the fate or punish small offenders. So I just see it as perfection of slavery, like perfection of subjugation of slavery. Except somebody should convince me now they want to have their own unique way of doing, and they want to control the fate of others. They want to decide the fate of low offenders. So I just feel that those who are pushing for this in the Southwest, come out clean. If you can't live in the North, where the Sharia applies and you can marry your 11-year-olds or 13-year-olds, and you are not calling for it in the Southwest, we also understand some things that are underneath, because we know that by extension very soon, if this is approved, they also start calling for their own police. So somehow you are creating your own mini country out of the country. We should create new set of laws, to govern a set of people within the same country. Is to indirectly say you want to create another country for some set of people within the same space of the country. And that is why you see in the North, one law applies when it comes to financial allocation, another applies when it comes to adjudication of criminal justice. If I want to say, okay, I'm a Christian, Jesus has died for my own sins, so nobody should judge me. No judge is therefore qualified to judge me. I'm a Christian, so I can't be in your court. How about that? The law of Christ will also apply to me, that nobody should judge me, because the Bible says, judge not, that he might not be judged. So if somebody now comes and says, okay, I'm a Muslim, the secular law should not apply to me. The law of Islam, the Sharia law should apply to me. So if Christians should not, people should now also come and say, okay, we need our own laws too. So that when we do something, the certain specific laws must apply, other laws must not apply. Because I have worn the toga of a religion and I'm covered by that toga. Not fair. Not fair. The reason I'm not even a religious person is because I know that religious people are not necessarily godly at the end of the day. All these people pushing for Sharia is not because they love God, Sha. It's not because they love God. It's because it benefits them in a way and subjugates others for them. It's not because they love God. Religious people don't love God. Yeah, they have personal reasons. Discrimination is the opposite of love. And when you discriminate, you are not godly, because God is love. God is not discrimination. And religion teaches discrimination. Oh, the Amos 3:3 can two work together who do not agree. Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. You are teaching people discrimination already. And then you also listen to Muslims too. They want Sharia. They want to be separated. And the more we separate ourselves, the more we lose humanity. We faint the line. We blur humanity. And we restrict ourselves to cocoons under guise of religion, tribe, and there are just too many divisions already. So that's why I don't want to be religious. I want to be fair to all humans alike. And religion teaches discrimination. If your behavior to a fellow human is guided by certain biases called from your religion, then you are not godly. So you can be religious and not godly. So you are only being. That's why I don't want to be religious. I don't want any religion to define for me how to relate with fellow human. I don't want any religion to define for me. A relationship with God should be personal. Religion limits people. It also limits people's knowledge about God. Yes, religion limits people's knowledge about God. You only know God to the extent that your religion tells you. In fact, you know the universe only to the extent that you are exposed to it. And how much of the universe does religion generally, how much of the universe does religion expose us to? In fact, look at it. There's even universe, there's even multiverse, there's omniverse already. Yeah, universe, multiverse, omniverse. Your religion only limits you to the extent that they have written in that book since the mid-history. But you don't know that God is more than what your religion has limited you. That's why I'm not a religious person. I'm not saying don't be religious, so no. I'm only saying I would prefer to be godly than to be religious. I don't want any religion to define God for me. Let me explore the universe. Let me explore the world. Let me explore the elemental. Let me explore everything, the cosmos, and understand nature better than religion tells me, oh, God is from the sky or the moon or anything. No, I don't want to be limited by what the religion say God is. I want to know God in the universal sense. I'm not against those that are religious, so maintain your religion is very fine. Let those who are pushing for Sharia in the southwest, let them come out plain. Why? Don't just hire down that there are many Muslims in the southwest, so they also deserve Sharia. Say it. You want to perfect subjugation of other people and get validation for your own kind of sins. Yes, now.
All these northern Muslim people just they funny me. They pass tax reform bill. All of them they run a task skater, they do video, they talk up and down, say they no go allow me happen. All the northern governors, their senators, all the people they ask of rep, all of them just they reject the bill, they talk up and down about the bill. Mr. President can't talk say make French military base come north, come Kaduna, all of them, including that Dr. Garus Gololo, I be waiting the name. All of them just they do video, they fight. It can never happen. No French military base go stay for our soil. None of them go come north. They no agree. All of them they no agree. Now the same Muslim northern leaders now won't pass Sharia law. And they right to give House of Rep. I be then the right to give Senate. May they put Sharia law into constitution. You know go better for all of now. Now no get single sense. So Nigeria be like Islamic country for our eyes, abi. Una want Islamize everybody for this country. Now the pass Sharia law. It just be like make one Igbo man wake up, come make call another Igbo man. They come day 2 or 3, gather talk. Make they go pass bill of Amajoha. Make Amajoha law come into Nigerian constitution, or make one Yoruba man with him brothers come make call, gather themselves together, one pass bill of Ogun, make Ogun law come day into Nigerian constitution. You know how many ethnic groups will make up this country? Apart from the 3 major tribes, you know how many other ethnic groups will make up this country? People will believe in different things. You know how many people will believe in different things? Will be say freedom of worship, freedom of anything if you worship is allowed for this country. Now one can impose Sharia law for you know go better for all of now. You know go better for all of us. Now gotta do that meeting. The person will even sit down, take that thing, and the person will in call, and all of now we gather sit down there, can't even discuss and to even go pass and give House of Rep, and be pass and go give Senate, make they put on for law. We need that thing, no go better for all of now. I've been artist in Nigeria na personal inheritance. I've been artist in Nigeria na land. Bro, if na one do that na nyama, muna do am for na corner. Muna do am for na corner for there. Muna no carry na Sheyi Makinde blame now. Because if Governor Sheyi Makinde no go approve am for Oyo, all this nyama for no dey sub. If Ibadan people like muna no go, muna no talk, muna mute. If na like muna just quiet, muna mute, muna no talk. May just stop for na land organ. Muna no go carry enter another place, make them pass am as B. Now get this country. Be waiting they work all of now. Bro, this is Nigeria, and Nigeria no belong to one person. Now they hear me so. It no belong to Hausa, it no belong to Igbo, it no belong to Yoruba. This is Nigeria, and Nigeria belong to Nigerians. Enough is enough of all this nyama. When they reject tax reform bill, when they reject French military base, but when I want impose Sharia law for constitution for this. Be like say na no normal. Na no know wetin they do abi. Be like say na no normal. Bank up people everywhere.